So there are a couple of artists being charged with some heinous crimes that they're locked up for right now. And in my opinion, I think they're both guilty. Find out who on the next episode of the Pure Vibe Show. Greetings, family. Welcome back to another episode of the Pure Vibe Show. I'm your host, King Fire, and welcome again. This is the show where we discuss hot topics and do video reactions to different videos around the globe and around the internet. And family, I have a discussion for you today. Family, right now is two artists currently locked up, not yet charged for their crimes yet. Well, I guess they're being charged for these crimes, but they haven't been convicted. Let's say that, And upon further review and looking at all the facts of these two artists, family, I want to say that I believe they're both guilty. One of them already had a trial and it turned into a mistrial, and now we have to go back through the whole process again. But upon looking at all the details and the facts, family, I believe this man is guilty. And the first artist that I want to talk about today, family, is YNW Melly. I didn't really know about this guy too much prior to this whole thing coming up a few years ago. I don't even remember the year that this case happened, but we're going to be looking back at some video just to summarize exactly what happened, family. And then you leave it in the comments below and give me your opinion on, do you think this person is guilty or innocent? Because you know what I see going on right now? I see a lot of fandemonium, meaning that people are a fan of these artists and certain people, and they just can't see past being a fan of these people and see them for their guilt or their innocence. They just see them because they're so fanned out. And I remember this situation happened the last time with Michael Jackson. Remember when Michael Jackson was being accused for the child, you know what? And a lot of people that were Michael Jackson fans were saying no way. And I was one of those people that said no way. And it was proven later on after Michael Jackson passed away, and the boy that was accusing Michael of that came out and confessed about his parents and the whole setting them up to get money out of Michael Jackson. So it turned out that those allegations were not true after all. But a lot of times, family, sometimes there's a lot of proof in the pudding to prove that some of these allegations are true. And with these two specific individuals, especially this first one I'm going to talk about, it's a tricky case because a lot of people are big fans of this artist, family. He sold millions of copies of records, and he's even been selling millions of streams while he's been locked up, So that's to tell you that when it comes to fandemonium, people don't see people's crime and their guilt and things like that. And when you become a law-abiding citizen and you have children and these things like that, you look at these things from a different view and a different angle. And I just want to know, are we protecting the innocent or are we protecting the guilty? I don't know anymore, family. I ask you. These are just questions that I pose because it's questions that I want to know. But without further ado, family, let's get into this first video review and check out the summarization of the case of YNW Melly.
But he continued to struggle with the law, and during the summer of 2018, he was arrested in Lee County, Florida for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon and another count for possession of marijuana. For some time, despite his criminal activity, he always seemed to bounce back out of jail to continue making music and to further his career, and even had a song featuring Kanye West that would later get its own lyrical Lemonade video with Cole Bennett.
I think I got mixed personalities. This bitch switched up my whole mentality.
But then came an incident that would change everything. In the early hours of October 26, 2018, Melly and other members of YNW, including Juvie, Sack Chaser, and Bortland, left a recording studio in Fort Lauderdale around 3 a.m. Security footage allegedly shows Melly getting into the car with his friends as they left the studio that night. They all got into a Jeep Compass. Bortland was driving, Sack Chaser was in the passenger seat, and both Melly and Juvie were sitting in the back. According to the initial account, another vehicle pulled up alongside them and began shooting at their car. Sack Chaser and Juvie were fatally shot in the head and died before reaching the hospital. It was originally reported that Melly was not in the car during the shooting. The following day, as people grieved, Melly posted a heartfelt tribute to his friends on social media, mourning their loss. However, law enforcement quickly began questioning the story. By February of 2019, police had built a case against Melly and Bortland. Their investigation suggested the shooting wasn't a drive-by at all. To start, phone records placed Melly in the car at the time of the shootings, despite his initial claim that he wasn't there. This is a huge red flag that prosecutors have focused on. According to evidence, the group had taken a different route than they had initially claimed. Cell phone records placed them near a waste treatment plant.
There was a map that was presented to the jury, and it had areas on there pinned, like the crime scene and the reported shooting. And significantly, the prosecution has asserted that the cell phone data shows that YNW Melly, or Mr. Demons, was with the victims about 15 minutes before they were taken to the hospital.
The initial story was that another car pulled up and fired at them in a drive-by. However, police found no evidence of another vehicle at the scene or of a drive-by attack. Instead, ballistic reports revealed that the shots came from inside the car, specifically the back left seat, which is the spot where Melly was seen getting into the car. Prosecutors also point to forensic evidence indicating the victims were shot at close range. They had stippling from gunpowder on their skin, which suggests that the gun was fired from a short distance, consistent with an execution-style shooting, something that doesn't really match up with the claim of a random drive-by. And forensic analysis showed no sign of another vehicle being present at the scene. Furthermore, a shell case matching the murder weapon was found under the seat where Melly had been sitting. Authorities accused Melly and Bortland of staging the shooting to make it look like a drive-by. There's also claim of an alleged incriminating message from Melly himself. Police say they uncovered a video in which he reportedly says, "There's no regret to the stuff I did, for that person to die." While this video hasn't been made public, authorities claim it's a key piece of evidence. Melly also allegedly made questionable comments in a conversation with his girlfriend, saying, "I did that. Shush." While this could refer to anything, prosecutors argue it's worth considering in the larger context. When looking at potential motives, one of the strongest that surfaced involves Melly's girlfriend. According to depositions from Melly's girlfriend's mother, YNW Sack Chaser allegedly sent explicit photos to Melly's girlfriend. This claim has added a new layer to the case by suggesting there were personal tensions within the group. With all this evidence, prosecutors are working to piece together their case against Melly, who continues to maintain his innocence.
I'll wait. I want everybody to put their fandom and their favoritism to the side and just use your common sense. That's all I'm asking you to do. Use your common sense. And do you not think that this man had something to do with killing his two friends? I can't respect it. I don't like the energy of it. It just seemed too fishy. It seemed too funny. Seemed too weird. Just so happened you get out the car and swap cars on the night of your two friends being killed in a drive-by, and you were in that car with them initially. There's so many little loopholes in that we could poke extra holes in, family, but I want you guys to leave it down in the comment below. Look at the video, review it, and tell me, how do you feel about that case? Moving on. Now, we have a case here, family, that's more prevalent right now in the media and being spoke of, and that's the D4 David, whatever his name is. I'm gonna call him David. That guy, the singer guy, whoever he is. I never knew about this guy either until his case came up here, and apparently he's been selling millions of streams too. Became popular or famous through the game community or whatever have you, and turns out that he was dealing with a young lady that was about 13 years old, and then this young lady comes up brutally, unalived, family. But I'm not going to beat you up with the details, family. Let's review this video and look at the case and summary of D4 David or whatever his name is. Let's check it out.
We begin here at 6 o'clock with the gut-wrenching details revealed during the preliminary hearing for the murder case involving the pop singer known as David. We want to thank you for joining us here at 6. I'm Jonathan Gonzalez.
And I'm Annabelle Sedano. Colleen and Michael are off tonight. David is now facing sexual abuse and murder charges in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Prosecutors are presenting a summary of the evidence in the case to show the judge there is enough evidence for a jury trial.
Investigative reporter Eric Leonard has been in the courtroom today. He joins us live now, and we should warn you, some of the descriptions from court are graphic. Eric.
It's very difficult for any of us to imagine what Celeste Rivas Hernandez's parents went through today as they sat in court and listened to a detective testify on the witness stand while showing photos about the way that their daughter's body was discovered at that tow yard in Hollywood, the condition of her remains, and the beginning stages of this investigation. Prosecutors today really focused on those first few days of the investigation. What detectives found, the clues, they say, even in those first hours began to point them towards the singer known as David and the home he was living in the Hollywood Hills. These sketches from court show David, whose legal name is David Burke, sitting in the 9th floor courtroom today as prosecutors showed photos of the way 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was discovered, dismembered, in an advanced state of decomposition. Rivas Hernandez's parents sat in the front row. Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman turned around and warned them about what was about to be shown, and at one point suggested they put their heads down. Celeste was found last September in the front trunk of a black Tesla in Hollywood. The car, of course, registered to David Burke. And these photos, just part of the presentation of evidence where the prosecution is demonstrating to the judge that there's enough here for the case to go to a jury trial. An LAPD detective on the witness stand for much of the day, recounting how multiple clues pointed immediately towards Burke. Among them, electronic data that shows Burke was the last person to drive his Tesla on July 29th, 2025. That was about a month before Celeste was found. Then search warrants led to online purchase records that the detective says shows Burke bought 3 chainsaws, a shovel, a body bag, and an incinerator all around the time Rivas Hernandez disappeared. Photos of these items were shown in court. The detective explained how some of the equipment was delivered by Amazon, DoorDash, and Postmates. No blood was found on those saws. It turns out they weren't tested for DNA. Earlier, an LA County Sheriff's deputy testified about a welfare check that he was sent to in a home in West Hollywood where Burke was staying. The home was searched for Celeste. She wasn't there. But at one point, body-worn video captured Burke saying that Rivas Hernandez had told him she was 18 years old, and then he learned she was 13 years old. And key to the prosecution's presentation here, they say at the time of the recording, Burke was already involved in an intimate relationship with the teen.
I said it once and I'll say it again, family. I have no love and no respect for child M's, for grapers, for women abusers, or anything down that line that harms women and children. I have no love for it. So if you're out here messing around with little young girls, you get whatever you deserve and whatever comes to you. And I hope that he definitely gets put under the jail. It was your vehicle. It was a girl that you know that you were with. All the text messages that they done came up with in court this week. Listen, I just hope that this does go to trial, because right now this guy is in a kind of preliminary hearing situation to see if they have enough facts for it to go to trial. And if you ask me, there's enough there, and I hope it does. I hope people's fandom does not get in the way of their... Don't let your fandom get in the way of your good judgment, because you're a fan of these people. You can't see past that, because from the looks of the evidence, these people look very guilty to me. Very guilty. I don't see how they could beat these cases and come across as innocent. But it's the law. The law, you can always find loopholes to get around things. And not because you beat a case means that you're innocent either. I don't know, family. I don't know it all. This is why we're here. Inquiring minds want to know. We're here to ask these questions. We're here to figure it out. And we're here to review these videos to see what's going on around the globe. Family, it's been another episode of the Pure Vibe Show. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel to grow and for more people to know. Until next time, family, peace, love, and pure vibes.